Good morning. I'm joining you instead of from Utah. I'm joining you from my favorite place, Medford, Oregon. This is where I actually got my start with my love of family history. I'm here helping my daughter move, and so I'm taking a second because I'm so excited. Um, Full text search, if you've heard about it, is now a full function on Familysearch. You no longer have to go to the experiment. And I'm so excited to share with you how to use it. In the past, it's just been this experiment where they've been testing out AI to try and read these old documents. And these used to be films that were sitting in the library in drawers that you'd have to pull out and scroll around on microfilm. Now they have over 5,100. This is as of August 2025. So if you're listening to this later, it may even be more. They're working on adding everything that's been digitized that was microfilmed starting in the 1930s. And then everything that they're adding new, they are working on getting into the AI. So full text search is your new best friend. I'm just going to get right into it, and we're going to get on to, I'm going to share my screen if I can remember how to do that. It's been a week. Let's see, allow to share screen. Here we go. Share entire screen. All right. So we're here on the main page. You're going to log in to Familysearch. And it used to be that you would go down here to Familysearch Labs and log in. But now you can come up here to the search button. And right here is full text. So let's click on the full text. All right, for those of you that have not used full text, you are going to be blown away. There's a few key things that you'll need to know how to do, but it's opening up those brick walls that used to take forever and ever and ever to try and search, and then still you wouldn't get information. I tell people that one of my favorite records that I found was for it was for a client that I was working for, and this record was signed by Miles Standish. It was during the Plymouth Colony days, and this person was getting summoned by the King of England. And I'm like, I studied Miles Standish in high school history, but to see his actual signature was absolutely incredible. So let's talk a little bit about full text search. So what it is it's using AI to read cursive, to read typewritten documents, any type of document. And it's making it searchable, kind of if you've heard of OCR, it finds the words and then it pulls up all the documents that it has in its system for you to see. So for instance, so this is your main area where you're going to search, right in this start your search. Down here, it gives you some search tips. So if you forget, we'll go over it, but you can come back and you can look at this and it'll give you tips. Now, this first one is really important. When you're doing a name, put the name in quotes. You want to basically cement it together so that it doesn't find a Henry here and a Jones here. You want Henry Jones all together. Another tip when you're searching for your person is remember spelling variations. If there was a Will and maybe they abbreviated the name, maybe George was GEO. Be creative. Use that GEO and then Smith and make sure it's in quotes. Do George Smith. Do G Smith. So those are, I'll show you some of the different ways. The other thing that I want to show you is down here in Find a Collection. You can put in just the title and search a specific. I usually don't do that unless I am searching for something very, very specific. Otherwise, I always just start with the name and see what I find. So let's say I wanted to do Wales, and let's see what comes up. So this one just pulled up Australia, New South Wales, and I could type the name in and see what happened. So it didn't even pull up the country well. So that's why I don't love this searching that way specifically, but you can browse all collections. Let's see how many you have. Oh my goodness. They've gone up 400 collections since I checked a month ago. So you can see here, we've got Africa biographies. Let's see if we just type in, I'm going to type in oh, there we go. Breckenshire, one of my favorite places. And you can see that it's got these properties, or these records. Sorry, I read the word properties there. These records here, but just know that just because this title is here, that does not mean that that's the only records here. For instance, because I know, because I found it in here, if I type in Penpont, And see, it's not even coming up. So it's not perfected yet, because I know that there's a pen pont collection for this estate where my husband's family was, and it's within this. Another tip to remember is that when you see a title here, so let's say it's American Samoa Legal from 1900 to 1973, it may contain more than just that American Samoa Legal, or it may contain different documents. So the collection may be multiple collections within it. They've just taken whatever is at the front of the collection and named it. And they're still perfecting it to make sure that every single collection that's within that entire filming is titled. And so sometimes those titles are not totally accurate. But let's say you wanted Scotland. So we come in here. So this is doing better for me within here than on that main page. So here you can see Scotland. Look at all of these Scotland records. There's 11 pages of Scotland records. You can see some of them are not very many. This 62,000. Let's just go one page over. If you come down here to the bottom right, you can click and you can look at all of these different records. And, 38,000. Let's see if there's what the biggest one is. Oh, there's 108,000 in Edinburgh. So I want to tell you a short little success story. So at the Familysearch library, we had a guest come in, and they had family in Arkansas, and they said they were from Scotland, but they didn't know where. And so I don't even remember the name. I wasn't helping the person. It was one of the missionaries, but he said they ended up using full text search. They put his name in there, and they just searched, and they said Arkansas and his name and maybe the little place in Arkansas, and up popped a Scotland probate. This man that lived in Arkansas was mentioned in the probate of his uncle, who still lived in Scotland. And this uncle died without any heirs, so he's giving property to his nieces and nephews, and he mentions that this nephew lives in this little town in Arkansas, and all of a sudden this guest was able to take their family across the pond into Scotland. Absolutely, absolutely incredible. Okay, so we're going to go back here. If you want to get back, just click on the full text search, and it takes you right back here. So notice now, if you're familiar with what was up here before, full text was not part of this, and now it's one of the selections. You can find it under the search, full text here, and once you go to that, then it shows up here. So anytime you want to come back to this main page, click on full text. So then if you come over here under keywords, my recommendation, this is what I personally do. I always go to keywords. I've tested it with keywords and name, and I actually get more results with keywords. Name, I talked to a programmer, and he said just the way the name box, how they program that, it is a little bit more limiting. So start with the keywords up here. So I'm going to do Anna Jane Williams. And I'm going to say return, and let's see how many we get. And I just put just the name. It's always good to start small, and then you can expand it. Start narrow and expand it. So I know that she lived in Wales. And as you can see right here, I've already been on this. This was a huge breakthrough for me. And it shows up in purple. So anytime you come back, it will show you purple where you have already visited. But I want to narrow it down. And currently, this is considered the older view. We will probably need to do another video coming up. It's been going back and forth between the old view and a new view. The current way, as of today, September 2nd, 2025, you have these buttons up here: collection, year, place, record type. My personal choice is I always like to narrow it down to place next. So I click on place, and I know that I want to go to the United Kingdom. So you have to have a general idea of where these people may have lived. And then I'm going to narrow it down to Wales, because I know she lived in Wales. And then I'm going to just leave it. I know she was in Breconshire, but I'm going to leave it broad because I don't know if she moved. I want to make sure that I get all of the records that are in that area in Wales. So I'm going to say apply. And I can see right here, this Breconshire, Wales, it says deeds, but it's actually, this is what I'm talking about. This is actually more than just deeds. This actually is some abstracts from some probates. So this one is typed out. So it's pretty easy for the computer to learn to read it. Over on the right-hand side, you can see a transcript. This is what the computer has typed out from what it sees. So it's had a very easy time with this one. If I come over here, I can read through this and I can see the administration of the estate of Mrs. Anna Osborne. And then down here, and it says for the administration of the estate of Anna Jane Williams by Catherine Morgan. So it's giving me a little bit of information. So if I zoom in, and you can zoom in with this plus and this minus, or like I have a Mac, so I can just kind of use my fingers and zoom in. And I can see right here, here's a date. And this is the summary of what's in this document. And here's a document number. I know that I can go to the National Archives in Wales. They have an online website and I can find the original. Possibly we have the original. I don't know. I'd have to do some more digging. But I do know that I get a little bit of a summary and it talks about this Anna Jane, and I discovered that it goes on for other pages. But because of time, I want to show you just some of the cool things in here. If you notice that there's a problem in here, they now have a pencil function. So you can click on this pencil and you can edit within here if something was typed out wrong by the computer. Another thing that you can do, so see it says click here to edit a word. I'm not going to do that because I didn't really notice anything that I needed to change. If I want to download it, I can click download and it can download the image. I can do a PDF with these highlights. I can do a PDF record with no highlights. I can also do a JPEG, which a JPEG is just an image. It's a picture. That's my personal preference. I always like to see the picture. And then I put it in my memories under Familysearch. So what'll happen is if you do JPEG only, then I can say download. It'll go onto my computer and then I can upload it. You just have to pay attention to where did it download. I know that it downloads on my Mac to my desktop, but it may go to your downloads file or recents if you're on a PC. So you just kind of have to play around. When you're doing the JPEG only, you can notice that this transcription and citation disappeared. So if you're trying to be really thorough, I would recommend doing the JPEG and the PDF with no highlights, unless it's a document written in cursive and you want to be able to point that out for other people. So if you go here, then you can choose, I want the transcription or I don't, I want the citation or I don't. And then you can say download. I'm going to do the JPEG only and I'll say download. So I'll say allow and it goes to my downloads. And then if I want to attach it, and I may have already attached this one, I can click the attach or I can say save record. And so you can save it to your tree, which is fabulous. So I will show you that right now. We click attach to person in family tree. You can see that it gave me this title, Penpont Deeds. I actually am going to get rid of that and I would title it Anna Jane Williams Probate. And I can be more detailed. I can put the source date. So let's say I'm citing this one, the administration of the will. So it's May to August 1793. So I put May to August 1793. And it's not going to love that because that's not really a standardized. But for me, I want to know that it covered that period, that she possibly died in May and they finally finalized things in August. I can put notes. So I can say that she was a widow. I could even type out the whole thing, account of the administration. I'm not going to do that right now for sake of time, but she was a widow living in Bath when she passed away. And I always like to add it to my source box because, unless they're the only person noted, but I still, for the most part, I do add it to my source box because there are usually other people that are mentioned in there. And sometimes I don't notice it the first time. And I want to be able to go back to attach it to them. And then I will say next. And then it gives me the option to add it to the person in family tree. This is all of the people that I've recently been on. I've been in my Swedish people. So I would need to go and find her. So I can find in family tree and it will take me to this page and I would type in Anna Jane Williams and she was in Breconshire, Wales, and it wasn't New United Kingdom when she died. And even if you don't know that, it's okay. And I'm pretty sure she died in 1793 because of the probate. And I say search, and let's see, that's not her, and this one is her. So when I see that, I can come right here and click on this little ID number. Everybody has a 7-digit ID number. If you click on it, on my computer right here, it says ID copied. So the ID has been copied, so now I can attach it to her. I personally think I have already attached this one, but we will test it out. So I'm going to paste that. So if you have a PC, it's Control V. If it's a Mac, it's Command V. And I pasted it in there. And then this little magnifying glass means search for the person. So I'm going to search for the person. And it does say it's attached to Anna Jane. So if it wasn't, I click on this little circle right here. I would click on that, and then it would allow me to go forward. So let's do a quick, I'm going to leave this for a second. Let's go back to the full text search results. Let's see, here's another one. This one, it doesn't look like I've been on, and we will do that really quickly. I'll walk you through this. If you can get this down, you are going to be able to attach so many records that will open up more information for your family. So I'm going to say save record, attach to person and family tree. I'm going to change this. I'm going to say Anna Jane Williams. Sorry, I'm trying to type fast. Williams, probate. And I need to see the date on this. This is 31 August. I'm just going to do the first date, 31 August. Let's see, and I'll note down below, 31 August, 1793. And then notes, this lasted from, and I could type the entire thing out if I wanted. I'm not going to. Or you can just say whatever you observe from what is in here. From 31 August. And we always do the day before the month. This is the genealogical standard. It's also the European standard, 1793 through October 8th. So October 8th is probably the day that they all got it finalized. I'm going to say add to source box because there are a lot of people in here that received money, inheritance, something from Anna Jane. And I am figuring it out right now, their relationships. And so I want to be able to attach that as I work. So I'm going to say next. And then now I still have that saved. It's still on my clipboard. I haven't copied anything else. So I can just do the Command V or the Control V and click on the little magnifying glass. And there she is. And that one says it's attached to, even though it wasn't purple. Striking out on that. All right. So we've got to find one that will work for us. That's what happens when you do things live. Maybe if I go further down, I know this one is her because it says a bath, and I know I have not looked at this one. So we'll do this one really quick. So this is just a little, it's talking about the estate inventory for Anna Jane Williams of Bath, 1791, although we saw 1793. So anyway, this because this is a secondary source, it's something that was typed from some other book. And even this title looks a little off. I'm like, I don't know if that's really what it came from, but I do want to save this. So I'm going to click save record, attach to person and tree. And I'm just going to just say reference. And I'm just making this up on the fly right now because I'm on video, but reference for, so I might have a better title if I was not under the gun to get this done. Anna Jane Williams. So don't take my titles as like, this is what you should do. Reference for Anna Jane Williams of Bath, 1791. And maybe this is something, I don't really know what this is referencing. This would take more searching. So I'm just going to say 1781. And on this one, I will still add to my source box and I'll say next. I'll put in her ID and search. Now you notice you might be wondering, why is it not pulling her up in that list? Because I haven't been on her person page. You need to be on the person page for it to show up in that drop-down list. So even though we've attached records to her, we have not been on her person page. Now this one, the bullet, this little bullet circle, it now is available. I've not ever seen this record and I can attach it. I click it and I say next. And I selected Anna Jane Williams. And if there was anybody else that's connected to her, her spouse who died a lot younger than her, a lot of years earlier, her parents, any of her siblings, I could check those boxes and then I would say next, and it would attach that same record to her, or to them, which is just fabulous. So you can get one record attached to multiple people all at the same time. Then you say next, and I will just say proof. So put something, why are you attaching this? So this is proof that Anna Jane lived in Bath, and then attached to tree. So once that's attached to tree, it will be in her sources, and I will show you that in a minute, but I do want to go back in really quick and show you a few other things that are on when you're in this full text search. So you're in the full text search. Let's go back up here. We'll just click on this one. It'll probably take us back to where we were just at. You have the option to click on names, and you can manage and edit details. This one has not been indexed, so it will not allow us to do that. But some of them will be. This is a newer one. You can get a transcript, and that's this right here. And if you love the transcript, this one, because it has so many different people on here, I don't love the specific transcript, but you can copy it. So right here, you can copy that transcription. And I will show you if I go to, let's go search, and let's go family tree. If we go to recents, this is also another like hidden button that people don't recognize. They're like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. You can go back to your recent people that you were on, and it still won't show up because search, find, I've got to go in here because we weren't on her person page. So I'm going to go back to Anna Jane Williams, 1793. Oh, 1793 in the wrong box. And Breckenshire. And there we go. Search. See, I lost what I had copied because I copied, I made another copy, and so I lost my original one. So let's go here to her. And we can go to sources, and we can see right here, reference for Anna Jane Williams of Bath, 1791. So it did not save. Sometimes there's little glitches and it did not save the year. So I can click add. I always want a year here because then it puts them in order. Same with these ones down here that have been added. I need to go in and edit those. 1791, and then I can say save. I could add other notes. Save. And did it save it? Didn't save it. 1791. Just know these are computers and sometimes the software does not work. There we go. 1791. See how now it is in order, and it's really helpful to see where you're missing gaps. All right, let's go back here. So you can also click, so you got the transcript, you can click on information, and over here on the side, it will say, what are the contents of this image group? It's records for Penpont, Wales, which was the estate where I talked about a little bit about last time. You can see, where did this come from? It came from this volume. It's in the National Library of Wales, so they have the original. There's an image group number. So this number is really important. If you ever have a problem, there's missing a page, if you have that image group number, you can reach out to Familysearch and they can go check that film out. It takes a while. It's not just an instant process, but there's the ability for them to redigitize if there was a problem with the film. And this gives a description of it. It's a schedule of deeds and documents deposited by this Captain P.J. Murray Penpont in 1936. So it must have been in the family collection, and they finally donated it to the National Library of Wales. And then here's a citation. This is really important because you want to know where it came from. So I often will come in here and I'll copy this. I just highlight it and Command C or Control C, that's copy, or you can right click on your mouse and copy it. Then you can go back in. I can go back into Anna Jane. And if you go back here to the 17, oh wait, which one was that one? That was a different one. That was, let's see if I can do it. This one right here. I can edit, and I can, usually you can edit and put in the source citation right here. It's not allowing me to do that. So I'm just going to put it right here. This is a more complete citation, and I pasted it in there and save. Maybe this will change at some point. I don't know why it's doing that. So now we've got that in there. Let's come back here. Let's go over these little buttons. This one, just remember, don't be afraid to click on things. You're not going to mess anything up. I can view the grid and it will show me all of the images that are in this collection. So I could just move. Right now we're on image 297 and you can see there's a blue box right here and of 358. So you can just scroll down and you could click to another page. I'm on 324 now and you can go in and see who's it talking about. Well, what's really cool is this entire book is about my husband's 6th great grandfather. So I can see that there was a letter from Henry Williams to Walter Powell. And what's really amazing is that this is just a little abstract, giving me a little information. It tells me there's actually an original record that I could find that would give me more information. So you can also download this here. So you see there's this download button here. We also saw it over on the other side when we were over here. So I could download it and it gives me the allow download and it downloaded that whole image. If you click on this little box, this is where you get that information that we were just looking at. And you can see what the permissions are. Sometimes there's certain things that you can only see within a library. As you see that this message right here. We're also going to, if you want to see full screen, that takes you to full screen. Sometimes that's very helpful when you're trying to read difficult writing. You can also adjust the image if it's not bright enough. If you want to make it lighter, you can adjust it there. If you make a change and you're like, I don't want it, you click on that and then you click reset and it takes it back to the original. This is also where you can rotate the image left or right. You can even say maintain the image zoom, which I've never really used, but we're just going to leave it on that one. You can also click here for keyboard shortcuts. So it will tell you if you press Control. So just remember Control is Command with a Mac. And this symbol, you can invert the colors. So what does invert the colors mean? We'll do it right here. So we can, right here, invert image colors. It makes it from a gray to a black background. So sometimes that's helpful when you're looking at an image. So this is this little box, the adjust image box, that allows you to make it easier for you to read. All right. We covered everything on here. Let's go back. Let's go back to this one right here. Let's see. I think we covered it all. I think we have. So let's go back here to the full text search right here. I want to do a new search, full text search. And I would recommend that you start with maybe like just a grandparent. So like, for instance, my grandfather was James Carroll Bagley. And I'm just doing a search for James Carroll Bagley. And look at this. The first thing that comes up, I did this a few weeks ago and I couldn't believe it that here was his marriage record. And then I looked here and he was officiating minister. I knew that he had served like in a district presidency or something for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And there he was as somebody who married this couple. So I could attach any of these records. So let's say on this, I know I attached that one. I did not attach this one. Let's say I wanted to attach this one. I click on it. I come and look at it. This is one key thing I forgot to tell you. You can do a summarize the document. So this is an AI generated compilation summary of what it is. And it says on September 14th, James Claude Lewis from Benton County, Washington, and Louise Thayer from Dallas County, Texas were married in Sunnyside, which is where my grandfather lived. And the ceremony was conducted by Minister James Carroll Bagley. And these were the witnesses. Really cool to know that my grandpa was marrying people in 1944. And he had not been living in Sunnyside very long. So this summarized document, you can also copy this. You could just copy this like this and you could paste it. I'll show you, we'll go to his marriage record here. We'll see if we can summarize that. I've already attached this one to him. So I'm going to say summarize the document. And it talks about how my grandpa married my grandma. So I can copy this and I'm just going to copy all of it just for the sake of time. Copy it. Now I'm going to go into Family Tree and I'm going to go to Family Search Tree and find. And let me just put in James Carroll Bagley. James Carroll Bagley. And I'm going to put Sunnyside. Probably with that name, it would probably come up, but who knows? There might Sunnyside, Washington. Oops, here we go. And search. So there he is. And what I can do is I could, if that information was really important to me and I wanted to put it into his memories, I can click on memories and add memory, and I can do write. And then I can just do paste, which is, remember, Command V or for Mac or Control V for PC. And I can just say marriage of Carol and Pearl and summary or something like that. I'd probably do something better, but then I can say it was in Utah County, Utah, and enter a date. Always try to have everything filled in here if you can. And let's see, does it tell me on here when they got married? Try to remember their marriage date. See if it'll scroll. There we go. 1934. So I'll put 1934 and next. And I'm going to make it public. If it was something you wanted private, you have the option to check this box to make it private and only you would see it. Or if you've created a group tree and this person is in the group tree, they would show up as well. So we'll say add. And now it's part of the memories. It was that simple. Let me go back one more time to full text search and see if there's anything else we should cover. So just remember, Familysearch. So my invitation to you this week is to go to the main page of Familysearch, check out under the search full text. And I do need to go over a couple more things. So we started with just keywords. Just be creative. Think of every way, every spelling, change it up. You can use an asterisk, and it gives you reminders of what you can use an asterisk. It likes to have at least 3 letters. And then, so let's say you don't know if their name was Carson with an S-E-N, S-S-O-N, or Karsten. You can do C-A-R with the asterisk, just like right here, and it will find it that way. Let's say you wanted to do, let's just do another one. Let's do their example of Henry. Actually, I'll do my Anna Jane Williams. Anna Jane Williams plus Henry. Let's see, that's our father, I believe. And we'll say search. We'll see. So we got a whole bunch. Here's a history of Breconshire, Wales. With that, I've got a lot. Now I can narrow it down by place. Oh, I do want to review this a little bit. I'll click at United Kingdom and I'll go to Wales. And then I'm going to narrow it down. I still have 1,200. I'm going to go to Breconshire. And then I'm just going to say apply because I know this family owned a lot of land. So I want all of the records. Just know that if you narrow it too much, if they moved across the county line, you're going to miss that. So you want the opportunity to look at every single record. You can also narrow it down by year. So if I'm interested in something in the 1700s, I click on the 1700s, and then I can narrow it down even more. Just know that after I do this video, they may change it. And I've seen the new version, and it's over on the left-hand side. So don't be afraid to try and navigate it. It's similar to this, looks a little bit different. But then I'm going to narrow it down to 1730 and then apply. That's as far down as it's going to allow me to go. But then I can narrow it down by collection. I can say I want biographies or legal properties. Just know that those are a little more vague right now. They're not as specific as I would like them to be. I can do it by record type. So again, here it breaks it down by that. So just remember, you need to use these to narrow it down once you've done your broad search. Sometimes your broad search only brings up 2 people. But I can see that I found that. You could just do Anna Jane Williams. But I have found when I narrow it down by the place, if I do Breconshire, I'm going to miss some things. So try multiple ways. And I'm going to do the year range. I know she lived from 1700 to 1800. And I click search. And then what I realized, I didn't get anything. And the reason why is I have these selected as well. So I'm going to get rid of these. That gave me 11. And then when I get rid of this, that gave me 16. So do you see how by being more specific on that right side, that I actually really limited what other records I could have found? So it's better to go broad. I like using these little bullets to narrow it down, but not too much, to see what I can find. So with that, I think we're going to be done on the full text for today, but there's so much more that we can cover. And if you would like me to go into a little bit more depth, maybe a little bit slower, sometimes I get so excited and I go fast. Let me know in the comments. And I'm so excited. This full text search will change your life. You'll see records that you never thought you would find, like the marriage record of my grandparents. I never thought that I would find that in there. So start with some of the people that are closest to you and see if they had land or what records are there for them. Don't be afraid to click around. So your homework assignment for this week is to practice with the full text search. Go 1 generation back, 2 generations back, and just type in names and see what kind of records you get. Let's see what happened to my video. I think I'm still here. I got a strange little message on my thing. So there we are. A message popped up, those random ones. So have a great week. Tell me how you're liking full text search. Tell me if you're experiencing some frustrations. Just know if you live in an area of the world where they don't have records yet, be patient, and they are continuing to add and they are continuing to film all across the world. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.